Johnny Carson, the beloved king of late night, captivated audiences with his wit, charm, and humor for over 30 years. But as they say, behind every laughter is a hidden pain. A pain that cannot be healed by fame or money. For Johnny, that pain was the love he lost and failed to confess. He might have been a legend of late-night television, but his quest for love, particularly the love of his life, remains a tale that's less told. Today, we'll uncover the heartache and heartbreak that Johnny Carson experienced in his personal life and how it shaped the man behind the iconic persona. So, stay tuned till the end to find out what broke the marriage that was once considered a perfect match. Johnny Carson, the star and the man behind the laughter. Johnny Carson was a man of many faces. To the world, he was the epitome of late-night entertainment, a television host with impeccable timing and a magnetic personality. But as with many public figures, the image that millions adored on screen was only one facet of his complex life. Carson was known to be intensely private off-screen, and his personal relationships were often tumultuous, marked by struggles that even the glitter of fame couldn't conceal. Born in 1925 in Corning, Iowa, Johnny Carson was raised in a modest household. He showed an early talent for magic and comedy, performing for his family and friends in his youth. After serving in World War II, Carson began his ascent into the world of entertainment. His big break came when he was offered the role of host on The Tonight Show in 1962, a role that would cement his place in television history. But while his professional life soared, his personal life was often fraught with challenges and emotional turmoil. Carson's love life, in particular, was a source of great heartache and regret. Joan Walcott, the first love and the struggles of early fame. Before Johnny Carson became the king of late-night television, he was just another young man trying to make it in the world. It was during this early chapter of his life, while he was still a hopeful entertainer in Nebraska, that he met his first love, Joan Walcott. The two fell in love and married in 1949, long before Carson's name became synonymous with success. Their marriage started like many others, built on young love, optimism, and the dreams of a simpler life. At that time, Johnny worked as a radio announcer in Omaha, and their relationship was far removed from the glamour and demands of show business. But as Johnny's career began to gain traction, so did the strain on their marriage. By the early 1950s, Carson had moved to California to pursue television. His charming, easygoing demeanor quickly won over audiences, and before long, he was on a path to stardom. The rise of Johnny Carson's career, however, came at a cost. The long hours, frequent absences, and increasing attention from the public created a growing distance between Johnny and Jody. Jody, who preferred a quiet and private life, struggled to adapt to her husband's newfound fame. The demands of Johnny's career, combined with the scrutiny of living in the public eye, began to take a toll on their relationship. Despite welcoming 3 children together, the couple couldn't overcome the growing divide. In 1963, after 14 years of marriage, Johnny and Jody divorced. The end of their marriage was relatively quiet, but it marked the beginning of a pattern in Carson's life, one where love seemed to slip through his fingers just as his career reached new heights. Joanne Copeland, the woman who would become his greatest heartache. Following his divorce from Jody, Johnny Carson didn't remain single for long. He quickly found love again with Joanne Copeland, a former model who entered his life during a pivotal moment in his career. They married in 1963, just months after Johnny had taken over as the host of The Tonight Show, and his career was skyrocketing. Joanne brought a sense of sophistication and elegance to Johnny's life. Their relationship was passionate and glamorous, and for a time, it seemed as though Carson had found the perfect partner to balance his demanding career. The couple's courtship was a whirlwind, filled with the kind of Hollywood glitz that characterized so much of the 1960s. Joanne often accompanied Johnny to public events, and together they presented the image of a power couple, charming, poised, and successful. Yet behind the scenes, their marriage was far from idyllic. As Johnny's career on The Tonight Show continued to rise, so did the pressures of maintaining a public persona. The grueling demands of hosting a nightly show left little room for intimacy and normalcy in their relationship. While Johnny was beloved by millions of Americans, Joanne increasingly felt like she was living in his shadow, struggling to reconcile the man she loved with the public figure who was constantly on for his audience. As a result, their marriage was marked by growing tension and a sense of emotional distance. In 1972, after 9 years of marriage, Johnny and Joanne divorced. In the years that followed, Carson would often reflect on their relationship with a mixture of longing and sadness. He had finally found the love he had been searching for, but it was a love that he could not hold on to. Their divorce left him devastated, and the void in his personal life was never fully filled. Joanna Holland, a glamorous union. Destined to end. After his second marriage ended in heartbreak, Johnny Carson sought solace in a new relationship. In 1972, shortly after his divorce from Joanne, he married Joanna Holland, a beautiful model and socialite. Their marriage was marked by glamour and high society living, with the couple making regular appearances at celebrity events and functions. For a while, it seemed like Johnny had finally found the balance between love and fame. But as had happened in his previous marriages, the pressures of being America's favorite television host began to creep into their relationship. Joanna, despite her grace and beauty, couldn't escape the shadow cast by Johnny's larger-than-life persona. After a decade of marriage, the couple called it quits in 1983. Like his earlier divorces, the split with Joanna was handled discreetly, but the emotional toll was heavy. Johnny's third failed marriage only reinforced his internal struggles, the same struggle he had confessed to friends when he admitted that his love for Joanne Copeland was something he could never shake. It's a reminder that even with fame and success, life is not always easy for those in the public eye. The Final Love, Alexis Moss, and Johnny's Search for Peace. By the time Johnny Carson met Alexis Moss in the mid-1880s, he was already a legend. His previous marriages had all ended in divorce, and it seemed unlikely that he would find lasting love again. But in Alexis, Johnny found something he hadn't experienced in years, a sense of calm and peace. They married in 1987, and for the next 18 years, Alexis provided Johnny with the stability he had long sought. Their marriage was quiet, far removed from the Hollywood spotlight that had characterized his earlier relationships. Alexis was not interested in fame, and her private nature allowed Johnny to step away from the demands of his public persona. For the first time, Johnny seemed to have found a relationship that offered him the peace and contentment he craved. But even in this final chapter of his life, Johnny's heartache lingered. Despite his love for Alexis, Johnny never forgot Joanne Copeland. The woman he had confessed was the true love of his life. It was a secret he kept for years, a confession that revealed the depth of his emotional struggles. Though he had found peace with Alexis, the memory of Joanne and the regret of what could have been remained with him until his death in 2005. In the end, Johnny Carson's life was marked not just by his legendary career, but also by his search for love and happiness, a search that ultimately remained unfulfilled. Despite this, he left behind a legacy as one of America's most iconic and beloved television personalities, forever remembered for his wit, charm, and unforgettable presence on screen. While his personal life may have been tumultuous, Johnny Carson's impact on the world of entertainment will never be forgotten. So, what do you think? Did Johnny Carson ever find his true love? Well, do let us know your thoughts in the comment down below. Also, if you enjoy this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more interesting content like this.